Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. This week I wanted to share with you the perfumes I've been wearing the last couple of months. I have been keeping track, and the ones I hope that I'll be wearing over the next month or so as we transition from winter to spring where I live. If that sounds interesting to you, please stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's so nice to see you. I wanted to say thank you so much to my new subscribers. My channel's been growing really consistently for a while now, and I just wanted to let you all know that I am so appreciative that you have hit the subscribe button on my channel. It means a lot to me. I really love this corner of the internet where we are, and I love the energy you're bringing to my channel. So thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you stay. I'm in kind of a chatty mood. I don't know if it's because I just had a giant cup of matcha tea or I'm excited about having dinner tonight with another couple. I'll shoot some footage of where we're going. It's one of the coolest places in town, so I'm kind of excited about that. I also spent the day outside running errands, which is why today I'm in curly mode. I woke up and knew I had to wash my hair and realized that the rain was going to destroy any blowout I did, no matter what I would try. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but when it's really, really actively raining, it's hard for me to keep my blowout intact. So I just decided to go full curly mode. Enjoy it. So this is the first year that I've really kept track of what I wear on a day-to-day basis in terms of perfume. And so part of what I'm going to share here are perfumes that I've really been wearing a lot lately, ones that are new to me and some that are old. I hope you find this interesting. I wanted to start today with one that probably every one of you has in your inventory. Every one of you has at least smelled. This is Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle. I know, this one is kind of, everyone's heard about it, everybody knows about it. What more can I say? It's a wonderful citrus opening floriental that is both pretty powerful. It makes itself known, but the statement that it makes is somewhat fresh and elegant. I think it is a sexy perfume. I know some people don't see it that way, but I do. I also find that it's pretty office appropriate. And what I have discovered after keeping track of myself is that I reach for this one a lot. I don't know in my adult life when I've been without a bottle of this. It's been a constant. It's like a no-brainer. Of course, I have Coco Mademoiselle somewhere in my perfume collection, and of course I'm wearing it on a regular basis. I like this when I go into the office. Even if it does bend a little sexy, I still think it's primarily a fresh, somewhat kind of aloof fragrance, which I think is right for the office. And it always feels posh and lovely and elevated, and I feel like myself in it. So even though this one is one that I think a lot of people have, it's probably not surprising to hear about, especially on a YouTube channel. I know, but the reality is that I wore this one a lot the last couple of months, and I think I'm going to be reaching for it as spring starts to really come in and I'm mixing with people more. Maybe I'm in the office more or in-person meetings more. Those are starting to happen too. I'm getting more like requests to meet for lunch or requests to meet in person. So this is the type of thing I would kind of no-brainer reach for running out the door to go meet somebody in a kind of daytime setting and also at night. I don't know why. Do I seem apologetic about saying something nice about Coco Mademoiselle? Maybe I've watched too many fragrance YouTube channels. I feel like people have kind of put me in a position where I feel like I have to like explain myself why I would have this perfume. It's so popular, it's been around so long, but it really is a wonderful actual day-to-day option and just a really good perfume. So why am I embarrassed talking about it? I guess it's not original. So we'll move on to things that maybe are a little more original. One perfume, and this doesn't look like I've used much of it, but this is actually a repurchase. This is one just like Coco Mademoiselle. This perfume is one that I've owned before, used up, and repurchased. So this is Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Pluriel Feminin. This was originally a gift to me from my family. My dad and stepmother were in Paris, and they did go to the MFK boutique, and they brought this back to me as a gift in 2016. and that was my first MFK perfume. I hadn't ever heard of it before. I certainly didn't know how to pronounce it. I was calling it Kurkdjian. I eventually pulled it together. But anyway, this was one that I'm really glad that they picked out for me because I think they got it just right. This is another Chypre. I like Chypres a lot. I've talked about them before. I think Coco Mademoiselle is also considered that. So this one has a little bit of vetiver in the notes. It also has quite a lot of violet, which is something that I've been super, super into lately. This has some of the same kind of characteristics as the Elie Sable Parfum in terms of being kind of heady. And, you know, Frances Kurkdjian also did Narciso Rodriguez's for her. So some of that like expansive, aldehydic kind of heady feeling is in this one as well. But then it has this wonderful violet note, which is both sort of green and purple in terms of color tones, very fresh, and it's grounded with vetiver. So this is a very complex, it's expensive smelling, and every time I wear it, I would sometimes feel like maybe it wasn't saying much, maybe it wasn't doing much. It's kind of a little bit fades into the background, but then like my husband would mention it and say, this is wonderful. He loves this one on me. It's very sophisticated, but very soft and feminine. And by soft, I mean a little powdery. You know, there's a little bit of that component into it. It's perfect for winter and perfect for spring. And I expect to continue wearing this. This is wonderful. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. There's other Frances Kurkdjian perfumes that get more of the spotlight. I rarely ever hear about this one, but I find this one to be very, very beautiful and super wearable. This is another one I would spray on myself without thinking before heading into work, which is why I'm on my second bottle. If this were just like a nighttime beast mode kind of like statement perfume, I don't think I would have run through a bottle, but because I feel super comfortable going into an office setting in this perfume, I ended up getting a lot of use out of it, which is good to know, and I've been wearing it and reaching for it a lot lately. It's just a gem, and I love it, and I wanted to tell you all about it. One that is significantly more recent in my collection is Bvlgari's Eau Thé Bleu. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the Eau Thé Vert, the green tea, which I have that one too and have been wearing that one as well. But I've been wearing this one more. So this is like a blue tea, which has been described as oolong, although I don't really smell oolong as much. This one is quite a lot like the Maison Frances Kurkdjian, the Feminin Pluriel, in that it is, there's violet, it's a little powdery. It's also quite green, just like this one. This one to me though smells a little more unisex. It's not so overtly feminine as the other. This one I can't really seem to get enough of. I specifically have been wearing this when I shower at night and before bed. So this will be a scent that even if I do spray this on before bed, it will still be apparent in the morning, but not so much that I couldn't layer something on top of it. This has, I wouldn't say a soapy quality, but it does have a spa-like clean quality, very unisex, very soothing and calming. I love that iris note. It has a powdery quality to it that makes me feel both cool and clean and dry. I love it. I think this bottle's exquisite as well. Over here, maybe farther away from my light so it's not so blown out. The sun is getting darker in the sky or whatever. It's starting to set and my lights are starting to seem a little overpowered. I might have to adjust them. Stick with me, everybody. Anyway, isn't this a pretty bottle? It really is. I love this little pointy shoulder moment, little 80s power suit moment. I just really do feel, you know who she kind of reminds me of, this bottle? The one of the Iris ladies in Alice in Wonderland from Disney, you know, the flower garden, the ladies who are kind of bossing Alice around in the garden. I feel like she looks like the Iris with the big blouse. That's not relevant in any way, but it is in my mind. I'm not really going in any particular order, but what feels right to me. And since that last perfume was somewhat unisexy, I'm going to just slide on over into Glossier's You. In my video about my no buy, I said I wasn't wearing Glossier's You very much. I admitted that, and it kind of sent me back to my cabinet to smell it again and to think like, well, why is it? Why am I not wearing it? And when I did smell it, I remembered, oh, I actually really love this one. So this one is also a powdery, irisy kind of, I think there's violet in it as well, but definitely powder and iris. And I do think this one is unisex. It reads like warm, clean skin, and this would smell good on absolutely anybody. And I love it. I love it. This is the kind of scent that I'm into. I really do love a clean, dry, powdery scent that has a nice elevated floral. I brought this with me on the first weekend of the month. A group of women and I go away on a girls' trip. We've done it a couple times now, and I think it's going to be an annual tradition. And so we just go for the weekend. We rent this really chic Airbnb. It's like literally been in Dwell magazine, and we do whatever we want. This time we had a really nice time. I'll include a little clip of some hike footage that we took. It's really beautiful. We're in northern Michigan, right along the coast of Lake Michigan. There's this part where we're hiking, and you can see the snow that was in the forest, but you could also see all of the sand that had blown up on top of the snow. It was a really beautiful effect. I can't remember having seen it before. And I just enjoyed myself so much. It felt so good to be away with good friends, having a nice time. And I brought this bottle of Glossier U for a couple of reasons. I do like its compact size. This is just a small little bottle, and it fit right in my makeup bag for the weekend, so that's ideal. But also because it felt familiar and cozy and clean. I didn't feel like I needed to like show off or make statements or fill the room with a scent the way some people talk about projection. You know, there were 6 of us total in this party, and I didn't need to necessarily be blowing the room out with my perfume. This one stays a little closer, but because we were squeezing into like van cabs and minivans and the whole bit as we were running around doing wine tasting and everything else, I didn't know I'd be close to people, and it also, we were like bunking up together, so I needed to smell good. This is perfect. Glossier U, this irisy, powdery, warm, skin smelling, musky scent it's a really good one, and I do like it. I'm not buying the solid. I'm not doing it. I still have quite a bit left. You can kind of see when I turn it upside down how much I've used. I've got years left of using this particular bottle, and I do think I see myself using this one down to the bottom. One that's newer to my collection that I wanted to talk about is Gucci Guilty, the Parfum Love Edition, this one right here. This is an example of something that I bought somewhat unconsciously, and this is really, if I'm super honest, this is the purchase that led me to initiate a no buy 6 months. This one I bought because I was wanting something to buy. I could see that Sephora was having their like a 20% off designer fragrance sale, and I wanted to buy one. I didn't need one. It wasn't like I had one that I wanted and I was waiting to save those dollars. I was like, that's a good deal. I'm going to go find something to buy. So I went on Fragrantica and I searched some of the notes I like. I searched violet. You can see I've got other violet perfumes, but I searched violet perfumes, and this one did pop up. And some people were even suggesting that it might be a dupe for one of my favorite discontinued perfumes, Love by Chloe. This one, Love by Chloe, I don't even know if I want to get into it right now. I bought that when it came out, and I think in my mind I thought I would always have that available to me. It was kind of before iPhones and all of that time, so I had no idea it was discontinued. When I went to repurchase it, it was gone, and I haven't had it since. And I've really never really filled that spot again. That was one of the most beautiful perfumes I've ever smelled. So somebody suggesting that this one might be a dupe, and the way that it's designed kind of makes sense. What I liked about Love Chloe was that it was a makeup-y smelling perfume. It had all the purple flowers. It had, I think, hyacinth and heliotrope and iris and violet and rice powder. It smelled like makeup, and it was so beautiful. Definitely office appropriate, but date appropriate too. It was everything I wanted to smell like every minute of the day. And like I said, I've not been able to completely replace it. I'm getting close with some of these, but it's not the same. And this is not it. This is not it. I mean, it's okay. It's a good perfume, but it didn't do all that. But I also think that this one I didn't need to buy. This is one that if I'd had my wits about me a little more, maybe I still would have wound up purchasing it because it does contain notes that I like. But I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, This is a perfume that I bought because I was in the mood to purchase something. That's it. But even still, I want to talk about the notes real quick. So let me pull it up. Okay, the main notes are powdery, violet, musky, fruity, and then aquatic. And it definitely has that aquatic piece to it where it's not like the patchouli underneath in Coco Mademoiselle. This has like water underneath. Very transparent, very fresh, pretty innocent. It is, I would say, a purple candy sort of, not like not like grape Jolly Ranchers or whatever, but like the Italian violet flavored pastilles they sell at Italy that I always stack up on whenever I'm in one. It has all of that, but not in an overpowering way, in a kind of watery, simple way. This one's super wearable, so I do, although I'm not like, I don't know if I would repurchase it necessarily. Maybe I do like it. I actually have made quite a dent in it. I've only had this since the new year, which is when I bought it. And I've put a dent in it for sure already. It's a good one. But part of the reason, just the other thing, is that part of the reason I put a dent in it is that it disappears pretty quickly. It is an excellent perfume. It does sort of wear off. This is the type of thing that I would consider, if I was wearing this one to work, I would actually consider putting this in my makeup bag and reapplying at work, which is something I don't do, but I think you would actually maybe want to do this, especially if you had plans after work. I do love the little flask bottle. I think that's cute, and this like cosmetic-y sort of pink is super right for me. I think the design is great. I'm into it. Sticking with the purple candy vibes, the Italian pastilles, I'm moving into let me pull myself together. Insolence by Guerlain. I took French in high school. I know I've said this before. I took French in high school. I'm not sure that my accent was excellent, but I at least had my act together. And then I went to college and I took Italian and I fell in love with it and I like really stuck with it. And it obliterated my French accent. Plus I'm from the Midwest, so it's kind of a disaster. Forgive me, I'm doing my best. Usually I know better, but I'm just a flawed person who is from the Midwest in the USA. So my French pronunciation is not great. Insolence by Guerlain. Here it is. This is the Eau de Toilette, and this is the 50 ml. So a lot of you know this perfume. I know it's been super popular on YouTube. I bought it because it was super popular on YouTube. I bought this because I went to YouTube looking for something to be interested in. I was Gabriella Francesca, or now she's Gabriella. I'll put a little screenshot of her page. She just got cast in a Broadway, the Turin cast of 6, and I am excited about that. I was actually thinking about maybe seeing it if she comes through. I love her channel. She spoke highly of this perfume as being like fairy soap. Like if you fell asleep in a forest and you woke up and the fairies were giving you the spa bath in the forest, you would come away smelling like this. That's what she said. And that was enough to get me to run to find a small bottle of this, which I did. And this is the EDT. The EDT is brighter and has a little bit more citrus or red berries than does the Eau de Parfum, which is more powdery. I love this. I absolutely love this. The reason why I knew I could buy it after I heard about it from her was that it's a super violet scent. It smells like violet candy, and it's quite powerful. I could see somebody buying this and hating it, buying this and gagging and saying, this is insane. Why would you want to smell like this? Why do you want to smell like Necco wafers? Pepto-Bismol. It's not. But you know, I'm just trying to let you know the boundaries, the terrain that this perfume sits in. It's in that terrain, and I do want to smell like that. I do want to smell like fairies have bathed me. I do want to smell like Necco wafers. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And just to go back to the whole like no buy situation, when I decided after I got Gucci Guilty and I got it and I was like, you know what I really wanted to buy, Beth? What you really wanted was Insolence EDT. I just have the EDT and that's what I really wanted. And I bought this. And now I still want the EDP and I'm not going to let you buy it. That was the one where I drew the line, where I finally said, you've been shopping like crazy, buying anything you want. You know, I'd just picked up this Bleu, and I'd picked up the next one that I'll talk about, the next and final one. And I just decided that I needed to wear the EDT more before I could buy the EDP. And that if after my 6-month no-buy was over, if I was still desirous of the EDP, I would buy one from the Guerlain website. They put it in the new bottle that looks like the Mitsuko bottle. And that's fine by me. And I'll buy that for myself for my birthday in August. And that is what I did. And I fought the strong urge to buy a full bottle of the EDP. I didn't do it, and I just started wearing this a little bit more. So I've been reaching for this one a lot. And I love how I feel when I smell like this. This is, oh, hey, Chewy. This is one of, I think, the most beautiful perfumes that Guerlain has made. I think it has a very strong presence and a strong statement and an ethos. I think it also, it's like sits in the middle of this space. You know, it is like, to me, the alpha violet perfume. And who am I to say? Who am I to say? I am not the expert on these things. But I really like violet perfumes and have many in my collection and seek out violet perfumes specifically. To me, this is like the reference violet perfume. I love the EDT. I love that bright, tart, kind of sharp part of it. And I think I will always like that. But I also like these powdery aspects that the EDP has that I have never smelled. That's the other detail here. I've never smelled the EDP. I've only smelled the EDT, and I've heard from reviewers that they smell a lot alike, only the EDP has powdery notes, and I love powdery notes. Again, like I said, the Chloe, Love Chloe perfume, that was one of the hallmark characteristics of that perfume that I love so much. Purple flowers, powder, and so I think the EDP is actually going to be a great fit for me. But I'm withholding from purchasing it, giving myself some time to like see how much I want it, see how much I wear the EDT, and move with caution and not just impulse like I did when I purchased Gucci Guilty, pure impulse. So this leads me to my last and final perfume of the last couple of months and into the next, and this is Juliette Has a Gun Lipstick Fever. I love a lipstick scent. I love one. I didn't know that I loved one until I got Replica's lipstick on during coronavirus. I did blind buy that one. It was my first blind buy, and it was one of the most beautiful perfumes I've ever smelled. It's in my cabinet. I still have quite a lot left of it. I bought the 300 ml, and I've only used, maybe a small amount of it. But now that it's like a unicorn, or not a unicorn, it's like a dodo bird, it's extinct, there won't be any more. I don't know why. I think that Replica should absolutely start making that perfume again, for sure. If it's expensive to make because it's such a high quality perfume, you can charge me more for it. If it doesn't fit within your standard price per bottle, like I will pay more for more lipstick on. Anyway, that one's really fabulous. That again, it has like this vanilla, cosmetic-y, waxy, like crayon waxy, beautiful iris perfume. It makes you feel like you are a 1950s, 1960s glamour goddess. It's really very beautiful. And I was hoping that Juliette Has a Gun Lipstick Fever would also fill the bill. This one I bought during the Sephora 20% off again as well. I bought the smaller bottle. It's good. This one does have a lipsticky scent, but it differs strongly from Lipstick On in that it smells more to me, if I were really to type what this is, it smells like a Jolly Rancher, or like a cherry Jolly Rancher. When you open up the plastic and it crinkles, and sometimes the rancher is still like stuck in the plastic and you can smell it. To me, it's so much closer to that than it is to lipstick. Although I know I've smelled lipsticks like this, maybe like a cherry chapstick, but it's a little more elevated than that. It's not just like you're gonna smell like a Jolly Rancher. It doesn't smell like body spray. It doesn't smell like kids perfume. It is elevated for sure, but it does, I'm gonna actually spray some on. It also, I think, disappears kind of fast. One of the nice things about Lipstick On is that like I wore it to a wedding in December, and I'm very like, see I'm going crazy with this stuff, but like it's pretty light duty, I would say. With Lipstick On, when I went to the wedding, all night I could smell it. When I got home it was an evening wedding, it was very beautiful. When I got home, I could still smell that perfume, and I felt like I smelled lovely still. I think that if I had started with this It would have been long gone by the time I got home. So I don't really know what this would be good for. I do think this is actually office appropriate. I don't think that kind of a thin, watery Jolly Rancher is going to bother anybody necessarily, and this is definitely not going to blow anybody out of the room for sure. It's lovely. I know I'll wear all of it. I think that it is. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I don't regret buying it. I don't at all, but I think that if I were to buy another lipstick perfume, I would maybe either buy somebody's lipstick on off of them, which I don't need, I have a bottle here, or I would do Frederic Mall's lipstick rose. Lipstick rose. Rose. Lipstick rose. I don't know what to say. I really love perfumes. It's an interest, it's a hobby. I don't really expect to slow down my appreciation and my wearing of perfumes, but the way my collection is set up right now, I am going to slow down on acquiring new ones for a while. What do you think? Have you tried any of these? Were any of these new to you? I imagine some of them were not. Are any of these in your collection as well? I can't wait to hear from you. Hope you guys are all doing great, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thanks so much. Talk soon.